Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is a quick video to cover a couple of topics. Can you wear a sports watch as a dress watch? And are some only the coaxial movements too high or too thick? I've seen these as a couple of reoccurring questions, and this is just my personal take on them. So let's look at the Omega Speedmaster 9300 coaxial, a 44.25mm case, 16mm high. It will fit under a cuff, and I do think the perception of size depends a lot on form. The tapered lugs bend towards the wrist, the crystal is also tapered, and the display back is tucked in. Also the strap tucks into the case. I think I'm an average to small wrist size, but it wears really well on me, and I think it has classic looks and is an excellent watch. I've also done an unboxing review video, if you get a chance to check that out, for the 9300 steel on steel. Now comparing this with, say, a Constellation Globemaster, personally I think a date window is okay on a dress watch. This Constellation Globemaster is 12.53mm thick and 39mm case, so I would say it can be used as a dress watch. I should also say at this point, noting a dress watch should match your style, and also for some formal dress, perhaps no watch might be the official way. So we have 16mm versus 12.53mm in height. 3.47mm doesn't make that much of a difference in my opinion, and if you see the pictures it can play a bit with the eye. Now let's compare the 9300 coaxial with a real beast, Breitling Emergency 2, 21.6mm high with a 51mm case diameter. The Omega looks like a lifeboat in comparison. I mean, the E2 has some really impressive features, but I have to say it's not for me personally. So we can make another comparison, and I think this is where also showing form in polishing can make a difference. Comparing the Speedmaster to a Cartier Pasha dive watch, which is a 42mm case and is actually thinner than the Omega. I think the Cartier does have a lot of style for a dive watch, and as I said, it is thinner, but that doesn't really show in the picture. Looking at another comparison, I think colour also makes a difference. So if we switch to a ceramic 9300 Speedmaster, obviously, which is black and still polished in the same style, obviously it's still at 44.25mm, 16mm high. Compare it to the Breitling Chronometer Aerospace, that's a 43mm case, but only 10.8mm thick. Obviously, you get an idea really. I don't think there's that much difference. It's very much about how the watches look, not just an actual measurement. So moving on to something different, I was lucky to get my hands on, or just borrow for a while, an IWC Da Vinci, which is the perpetual calendar with the chronograph. It's one of the 500 off Kurt Klaus special edition models, and I got hold of it just before it was going in for a full refurb, so if I did become a scratch magnet it wouldn't get me in too much trouble. And it does start to make me think, what's a sports watch and what's a dress watch, and when do you wear a watch? I mean, fashions do change, or we'd all still go around with a wig and a codpiece, I guess. I mean, for sports and heavy work, or even a bit of heavy drinking sometimes, I tend to go for a G-Shock or a Tissot T-Touch. I like my watch collection, and I don't want to damage them unnecessarily. I don't like scratches, and it's a pain sending them off for refurb all the time. Having said that, I did take my Dark Side of the Moon on my recent European tour, and that was my daily and evening wear. And even after a collision with a lamppost late one night in Berlin, no damage done. So looking at the Da Vinci, it's not a dress watch, it has complications, it's a chronograph, but would you really want to wear it for a football match if you were playing? I think if you were owning this watch, if you bought this watch because you loved it and you were attending a function, it would probably make a very bold statement and you might well want to wear it. Rules are changing. Billionaires wear jeans, people drink red wine with fish. Ultimately, I think a good watch is a good watch, and if a watch makes you feel good, it looks good on you, I don't think the fashion police will put you on a hit list if you wear it with a suit to an evening function. So just going a bit further with the comparison, we've got here now the Da Vinci with the Omega 9300 Speedmaster, and also a 1967 564 automatic movement quick set date pipe hand. Now the Da Vinci is actually 43 by 51mm case, but at 15mm thick is thinner in height than the Omega we've been referring to earlier through the video, but it still looks like a bit of a brick. The vintage pipe is only a 34mm case and just under 12mm. So that to me is a true dress watch. And I love it technically, I love it aesthetically, but being really honest, it does now look small these days. So who in the past would have worn a watch like this? Well, Elvis for one, king of rock and roll. I know some of the pictures with him wearing this type of watch, it's actually a Seamaster, but the dimensions are very similar, and the letter I've copied up here proves that he owned at least one Connie in the 60s. So in the 60s, big watches were not the trend, but big voices were. So you can see there Tom Jones and Elvis comparing some timepieces. So for me, to wrap up, I don't think the 9300 coaxial movement sits too high, and I don't think it looks too big as a watch. I also think nowadays, with so many rules being bent, you can wear a sports watch to a function. But it's nice to have options, and the coaxial Speedmaster for day wear, and then the coaxial Constellation Globemaster for evening wear is a good one in my opinion. I'm happy to have the pair, but also sometimes it's fun to break the rules a bit. And thanks for watching, interested in your views, and please subscribe if you haven't. Thanks.